Hey everybody, and welcome back. Today we will be learning how to paint stripes on a wall. If you want to see how to do this technique, just stay tuned. Naturally, the first step to this process is to get your base coat on, and I recommend going with the lighter of the two colors that you will be striping. You will need to do 2 coats of that color and let it cure for 7 days. Once your paint has cured, it is now time to find your starting point. You either want to begin with the center of a wall or find a focal point that you want your center stripe to be. For us, we are centering it on this toilet. We just believe visually that will be better for the bathroom. We have set this tape measure from the center of the toilet over to the wall. We are marking our center mark. That lets us know that we will need to move 3 inches to each side of that center mark to give us our 6-inch stripe dead center of that toilet. Once we have found that center line, we can now begin measuring off the top part of our wall as well as the bottom part, moving every 6 inches. Once you have marked that off, go ahead and pop your chalk. This will give us the lines that we will tape against before we start painting. It is important also to make sure that you mark that center point just so that you don't get off track. When you have found the center mark, you want to place your first rows of tape on the outside edges of that chalk marker. This will define a full 6-inch space where your accent color will be. And of course, we want to start with that center line. On the next line, we want to tape on the inside. This will leave us with a large 6-inch line and then a smaller 2-inch line. The 6-inch sides are the sides that we will paint with our accent color. Before we do that, we are going to use this small 3-inch roller and roll another layer of our base color right along the edge of the tape. No matter how good your tape is, there is always a little seepage, and the way to avoid your accent bleeding over to your base color is to reapply that base color just right along the edge of the tape. This way, any seepage that flows through will be the same base color and it won't mess up your secondary lines. There's no need to paint the whole 6 inches. We just want to go right along the edge of the tape. Again, you will notice we are only doing this to the 6-inch spaces. The little spaces in between are going to remain the base color they are right now, so there's no need to tape along those lines. Once that paint has dried, per the directions on your can, you can begin putting on the first coat of your accent color. Be careful not to go over the boundaries set by your painting tape. Once that first coat has dried, it is now time to go ahead and cut in and roll on our second coat. Just follow the directions on your can, but usually you can do this after about 2 hours. We're only going to work on 2 sections of striping at a time because it is important at this step that we work with our tape while our paint is still wet. Waiting for our paint to dry could cause a disaster. So while that second layer is good and wet, it is time to slowly begin peeling back the painter's tape. Do not wait until your paint dries because this could cause peeling or lifting. So do it immediately while it is still wet and work slowly and carefully. Now you will notice those beautiful crisp lines with no bleeding in between, and it makes for a gorgeous striped wall. I want to thank you all so very much for watching. I will see you soon in the next video.